this was a massive, massive data breach on Marriott's part. And it seems like it goes all the way back to 2014, which predates, of course, Marriott's mega deal with Starwood. And it also sounded like the breach perhaps started on the Starwood side of the business anyway. But let's dig into this a little bit, because while Marriott isn't necessarily a company that we're going to cover here in the financials universe, I mean, this is one of those things that happens. And I think that as investors, as consumers, we have to just be used to this fact now that data breaches are a matter of if not when. And the more people that use technology, the bigger these data breaches are going to be. So I always approach these data breaches as a matter of if, when, not if. And I think that there are things we can do as consumers, obviously, to help out our cause here. But you used to work for Starwood for a time, didn't you, Matt?
Yes, not in any department that would be related to this incident.
Okay, so you're not pointing any fingers then.
No, but no, I used to work for Starwood, not in any capacity related to this, but there are some kind of key takeaways from this, just like there was about the Equifax breach last year that I think we did a whole episode on this show. So just the kind of key things to know. First of all, what was taken. They said their whole database was breached, and I don't know about you, but I really don't care if anybody sees my historical hotel reservations.
Nope, I don't either.
I'm happy to share with anyone where I've stayed on Starwood properties. When I go to HQ, I stay at a Starwood hotel. So the real issue is credit card numbers and other identifying information like that. So the thing to know is just kind of what to do. One, kind of take a step back, because we're not sure exactly what anybody got or who got it or whether it's even going to become an issue. But the important thing to do as a consumer is to just be sure you're monitoring your credit regularly. You should be doing this anyway. There are a lot of services out there that'll let you monitor your credit report for free. You're actually entitled to a free copy of each of your 3 major credit reports once a year. Annualcreditreport.com is where you get the official one. And it's just a good practice to get into, and especially like a credit alert service that'll send you an alert, like if a new account is opened up or a new inquiry happens, so you can, nip these problems in the bud before they start. Going beyond that, what you could do is create what's called a fraud alert on your credit. And to do this, you really only have to let one of the 3 credit bureaus know. They're required to notify the other 2. And this just kind of sets an alert when credit is applied for in your name. That lender will see a fraud alert, meaning that they should take additional steps to verify that you are who you say you are. Like if you're applying for a credit card and they see a fraud alert, they might ask you to send them a copy of your driver's license or something like that. And if you're really worried about your identity being stolen, and you don't need to use your credit anytime soon, you can put what's called a credit freeze on there, which, thanks to the recent bank reform bill, is now free. So you can create a credit freeze. You have to do that with each individual credit bureau, and that will effectively prevent anybody from opening new credit in your name. What it does is it kind of locks your credit report. So when someone applies for credit in your name, that lender is physically unable to pull your credit and therefore has no way to make a lending decision. So there's kind of 3 things you should be doing, or you could do, just to kind of recap. 1, keep monitoring your credit, set alerts so you know exactly what's happening at all times. 2, put a fraud alert on if you're worried. If you're a regular Starwood customer like I am, and you're worried that this might have affected you, a fraud alert's a great way to go. And a credit freeze, if you notice anything suspicious, especially, a credit freeze is kind of the more drastic step you can take.
Yeah, I like your point there about consistently and regularly monitoring your credit report. I think that is something that perhaps a time ago may have been a little bit more difficult to do, a little bit more costly. But as you noted, there's so many different ways to go about that now, and it really can be so easy. Not just an example. I have an American Express card, and they give me a little service I can subscribe to there, where every quarter they give me a copy of my credit report. And I mean, it costs really nothing over the course of a year, but it's something that I never have to worry about. I know just every quarter I'm going to get a copy of my credit report so I can see it, make sure everything is in line. If there are any discrepancies, then there's an easy way to go about trying to address it and settle it. And I don't know that people recognize, maybe at a younger age at least, how important, how valuable an asset that credit score really is. I mean, that is something that can open up a lot of doors for you. And if you don't maintain it, if you don't protect it and build it and grow it, you're kind of selling yourself short there.
That's true. A lot of younger people also kind of underestimate what a pain it is to fix it once your identity is actually stolen.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It could be ultimately you should be able to get everything removed from your credit report, but it can take some time and a lot of headaches, a lot of paperwork you have to fill out, police reports and things like that. Then you have to convince each creditor that the account wasn't actually yours. So it could be a big uphill battle. I know friends who have taken, a year or more to completely clear their credit after a serious breach.
Yeah, that sounds like a massive hassle. Another thing I've done before, I don't do this religiously, but I do tend to, I like when I do hotels or bigger purchases like that, I tend to use a credit card as opposed to a debit card. And the reason why is, if someone's going to steal my identity, and I mean, let's face it, I mean, we live in an age where, oversharing is rampant. People are posting what they're having for breakfast on Facebook every day and telling you what they're doing right after. It seems like stealing someone's identity would be pretty easy, given the state of social networking today. But for me, I'll use a credit card oftentimes as opposed to a debit card, because at least if someone gets my credit card number, that's fine. That's not good, but at least it's not something linked to my checking account where they can just drain the cash out of my bank account. At the end of the day, your bank is going to take care of you. Your credit card company is going to take care of you. But I've always had this little phobia about linking too many things to our checking account or a debit card, thinking that if, something was hacked or stolen, if you get that cash siphoned right out of your account, that's a more pressing issue than dealing with credit card fraud. You're not in a time crunch really as much with credit card fraud, and you're not put in a cash crunch with a credit card like you might be with a debit card or linking something to your checking account.
Yeah, definitely. And credit cards generally have zero fraud liability, where I think debit cards it's you have some liability. I think it's like $50 or so now. But credit cards generally have universal zero fraud liability these days. So that's definitely a good point.
Yep. Well, bottom line, these data breaches they're gonna happen. There's nothing you can really do to control that. So always keep this kind of stuff top of your mind. Protect your identity, protect your credit report, your credit score. You have ways to do that. And we encourage you to always keep that in mind.